Who is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble match in 2023? That's the topic I'm going to look at today here on SCW. I'm going to look at 5 potential superstars who could win the Women's Royal Rumble match. And because we're in the Christmas spirit, I'm going to give you one extra bonus name at the end of this video as well. So let's not waste any time and get straight into this video. This could feature potential current WWE superstars, could feature some injury returns, maybe people that have been rumored to leave the company that could be coming back in. The first name we're going to discuss is none other than Becky Lynch, which shouldn't be any surprise to anybody. Of course, she's just returned from injury. She was out with a shoulder injury for 4 months after SummerSlam. She came back to win at War Games, and now, well, she's in a feud currently with Bayley, which makes me think she won't be dragging that out between now and WrestleMania, especially if they had one match already on Monday Night Raw. Now, if Becky was to win, she would make history. She would be the first ever 2-time Women's Royal Rumble winner, and I think she'd be a worthy candidate to do so as well. Now, I'm sure many of you are already saying to me, but we've seen Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair many times in the past. Well, the championship could change hands. Potentially Rhea Ripley could get that gold. That would be fun to see at WrestleMania. Or perhaps a more likely scenario is to do a match that's been in the pipeline for a long time and could probably be its last real opportunity to do at this year's WrestleMania. And I'm talking about Becky Lynch going for the SmackDown Women's Championship, going against Ronda Rousey. It's the match that everybody wanted Ronda to return to in WWE. Now, at the time Ronda returned as a face, Becky Lynch was going through her big time phase as a heel, although nearly 12 months on, now Ronda Rousey is playing the heel in WWE, and Becky Lynch is back to being the man, to being the babyface, the character that was challenging Ronda Rousey to become champion at WrestleMania 35 in the first place. The same character also that won the Royal Rumble the last time. I'm sure she's a favourite of many. She's currently a favourite of mine to win it this year, but we have 4 other names that we could look at as well. And speaking of what could be a first time ever 2-time winner of the Royal Rumble, I'm going to bring up Charlotte Flair. Now, Charlotte has been away for months from WWE. Of course, kayfabe injury, her arm was broken by Ronda Rousey in an I Quit match. If she was to return at the Rumble and win it, it would make sense for her to go for Ronda Rousey one more time. But personally, I hope she would go a different direction. I think the biggest match available for Charlotte Flair on return is actually to go to Raw and go against Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. A match that screams WrestleMania in my opinion, and a match that has never been done on a major premium live event before. Now, I know if Charlotte was to come back and win, I think many would do Charlotte wins lol. But at the same time, I think the big wrestling fan would understand that this would actually make a lot of sense and would be one of the big marquee matches on WrestleMania weekend this year. Next, let's talk about someone who's been on an absolute tear for the second half of 2022, the dominant Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, wow. I mean, literally, she has been the driving force behind Judgment Day in the second half of the year, being the mummy to Dominic Mysterio, to making sure that Damian Priest and Finn Balor win the majority of their matches, writing out Beth Phoenix by giving her a concerto to make sure that Edge quit at Extreme Rules. Rhea Ripley has been on a different level entirely. Even though she wasn't on the winning team in War Games, she was dominant on her side. And let's not forget, she was supposed to have a Raw Women's Championship match against Bianca Belair at Money in the Bank before she was taken away due to injury at the time. When she came back, she wasn't thrown into the championship picture. It felt like that she was waiting for another day, perhaps a big payday to go for the championship, and perhaps a Royal Rumble win would make the most sense. Like I say, the most dominant right now in WWE, whether it's against the women or even the men. She's body slamming the OC left, right and centre. She is literally someone right now who could go for, it feels like anybody, and come out as the dominant force. Rhea Ripley, without question, is a favourite for this year's Royal Rumble, perhaps even a favourite amongst many. It wouldn't surprise me if she was going against Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania this coming year. Next, let's talk Liv Morgan, and of course talk about a redemption story. Liv Morgan, of course, having one of the big breakout moments in 2022, winning Money in the Bank and cashing in on the same evening to a big monster pop from fans, defeating Ronda Rousey, only for it all to go a bit sour. Of course, it was during the Vince McMahon era, and then Triple H took over. It felt like that there was a period of transition for Liv Morgan. A character change was needed because fans were turning on her quickly. She's had that change of character now, a bit more of an extreme Liv Morgan. The kendo sticks are out, the tables are being used. It feels like a different Liv Morgan is in place, and if she was to win the Royal Rumble this year, I've got a funny feeling that Triple H would have a plan in place. It feels like with the transition happening from Vince to Triple H when it did, it feels like that perhaps maybe not a plan was really in place for Liv Morgan to be a long-term champion, someone that could be carrying the main event scene. I think if she's given the chance of this time now, winning the Royal Rumble, another big accolade to win, by the way, to go on to WrestleMania, I think that you can get that push behind her, and I think that she could become a champion once again in WWE, whether it's the Raw Women's Championship or the SmackDown Women's Championship. But in my opinion, she should keep away from Ronda Rousey if she was to win the Rumble match. Last but not least, on the original 5, I may have a bonus one for you, don't forget. Let's talk Naomi. Yes, let's talk about the big talking point of 2022 with the women's division. Naomi and Sasha Banks walking out of WWE, throwing the women's tag team championships at John Laurinaitis, have not been seen since. Contracts were due up to expire. Will they come back? Won't they come back? Naomi, for me, feels like someone that would be, I want to say, probably the more likely of the two to definitely come back. I also feel myself that if Naomi was to come back, you could have a lot of fun having her come back and win the Royal Rumble match. What says you're important than returning at the Rumble and winning it? She always does these great, terrific spots of where she's nearly eliminated and jumps back into the ring. But imagine this time she comes back and she aligns herself with the Bloodline, the female member of the Bloodline, something a lot of people have been calling for. She's, of course, married to Jimmy Uso as well. So to go then and be a part of the Bloodline and become a champion, this is definitely something that I think that could interest a lot of fans. And I think could be of interest to Naomi as well. That'd be a great way to bring her back into WWE. Will it happen or not? That's the big question. But certainly, she's going to be the final one brought in conversation for our final 5. Now, I said there would be a bonus. Let's talk Sasha Banks. Because let's say, what if? Big what if. There's been lots of discussion. Will she? Won't she? Rumours suggesting she will. Others suggesting she's not coming back to WWE. There's rumours that she'll be in New Japan on January the 4th for Wrestle Kingdom. Well, what if she was still to come back at the Royal Rumble? People will be speculating. People will still be dreaming about the idea. And if Sasha comes back, you know for sure, if it's boss time, she's going to WrestleMania. She will be winning the Royal Rumble match. And to be fair, the options are there for her, whether it's to go to Raw to take on Bianca Belair again at WrestleMania, which, to be fair, the last time they main evented with those two was absolutely incredible. Whether they want to go for Ronda Rousey on SmackDown, the rumours suggest with the writing that it was Ronda Rousey that came back into WWE and went to the placement of Sasha Banks, of what Sasha would have been doing at WrestleMania. So it's interesting to see how it would go down. There'll be some great storylines, great storytelling. Maybe the championships change hands between now and then. There's a whole host of opponents I'd like to see Sasha Banks in the ring with in WWE. Rhea Ripley being a particular one that stands out for me. But certainly, it can't be ignored. Yes, there is a chance she doesn't come back. Yes, there is a chance that she'll go with pastures new. But what if? And that's the question I want to leave you with. Just what if Sasha Banks returned at the Royal Rumble and was to go on to win it and go to WrestleMania? Until that Royal Rumble match has happened, for me, at this moment, at the time of recording, you can't rule it out. So that's what I think, including a Christmas bonus for you there as well. Let me know what you think in the comments below right now. Who do you feel are the favourites for the Women's Royal Rumble match? Maybe you have a favourite. Let me know who you think is going to win the match if you've got a prediction already. Check out the men's video. It's available on the channel for you already. Thanks everyone that's watched it so far. Over 1,000 views on that video. Make sure to go and give it some love if you haven't seen it already. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to SCW, and check out the videos on the side of your screen right now. Have yourselves a great day, and thank you as always for watching.